This is Seth Beamer, and you're listening to the Pivot Points podcast. Pivot Points dissects the lives of artists at their most crucial intersections, investigating the trials of this insane career and how they are overcome. These are the stories of the crossroads that, for better or worse, shape us all into the people, friends, and musicians we're meant to be. Pivot Points is brought to you by Discovr Radio. If you're an artist looking to get your music onto a broader stage, check out Discovr in the show notes. Today, I'm joined by Brother Dusty, a singer-songwriter whose music lives somewhere at the crossroads of Americana, folk, country, and honest storytelling. He's built a reputation for songs that feel lived in, full of character, heart, and the kinds of stories that stick with you long after the song ends. We're talking about his journey as an artist, finding his voice, life on the road, the creative process, and everything that's going into building the Brother Dusty project. Let's get into it. Brother Dusty.
Sweet. How we doing?
Dude, thank you for being here, man.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
It's very great to meet you. Yeah. So a little context for our listeners is we got connected through our mutual booking agent.
Yes.
Yeah. And you just said, though, we've been working with her for about the same amount of time, but we've been in town for a very different amount of time. I just got into town last year.
Oh, wow.
But you said you've been here 9 years.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Denver.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And where'd you say you were originally?
I grew up in Indiana, Kokomo, Indiana.
Nice.
Yeah.
You seem like an Indianan.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a thing. I get that. Yeah.
And were you a big part of the scene there, or was this the start of the music?
Yeah. I was a big part of the scene there. There wasn't much of a scene, and I could sort of foreshadow that within the next year or two, I would be hitting like a pretty serious plateau. Mm-hmm. So it was just like, I mean, what am I really going to do? My dad is a bass player, and he had moved to Nashville a few years prior, and I had never been. And I came to visit him, and it's funny because he was a Broadway musician. So I showed up on New Year's, like obviously like the busiest night of the year, and my dad made like $900 in a day playing 2 gigs. And I was just like, what am I doing with my life, you know?
Wow.
And of course, I moved to Nashville. I did Broadway for 5 years and was then like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny. But, you know, he ended up moving away back to Kokomo, like shortly after that, once I got here. But yeah, I originally moved here. It's kind of funny because I know we talked about this, but I moved here with my band at the time.
Yeah.
And we had been together for 10 years.
10 years when you moved?
10 years, like, no. We lasted 10 years as a band.
Gotcha,
and we broke up at the end of 2024.
Yes, okay.
And so I went solo on January 1st of last year.
Gotcha.
So it's been interesting because even in that band, we had some sort of breaks that we took where we kind of like fell apart and started all over because of some membership changes. So I've been in Nashville for 9 years now, but it feels like in accordance with like where my career's been, it feels like I've moved here 3 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I freelanced on drums and bass as well, and I think since moving here, I've played in like 30 to 35 like different artists, whether that be like studio or shows or just like worked with different people, joined different bands, whatever.
Nice.
But the whole time I was focusing on my own band, putting everything I had into it, and it was sort of went in like, you know, 3 years of living in Nashville. We grinded and we climbed up the local mountain. I call it Guitar Hero Nashville.
Okay.
Where you go and you play all the small venues, work your way up to the big venues.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once we had a member leave, and then we sort of went like a year of just like, so what are we going to do now? And then we replaced him. And then we did it again for another 3 years. And then same thing. He ended up having to split. And both, it's hilarious.
The new guy had to split.
The new guy, yeah. What's really funny is, and I hate that I've told this story 1,000 times, but you know, here we are again. We moved here, we climbed the mountain, we got an album done, and then the drummer had a baby, started a family, and wanted to move back home.
Tale as old as time.
Right as soon as the album came out.
Yeah.
So then we got a new drummer a year later, another 3 years, make another album.
Oh, man.
And then that drummer also decided that he wanted to start a family, and he had a baby, and he moved back home.
Yeah.
So it was the same. It was like a glitch in the Matrix, man. It was the exact same situation, twice in a row. And both of those times, you know, I retained my network of like who I was friends with and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, things happen here quickly. So
Yeah.
you know, the friends that I made as soon as I moved here, by the time the band first broke up, they're all touring and they're off. Like they're not necessarily in the scene anymore. So I go back into the scene and sort of have to start all over. And at that point, it's a lot of new people. A lot of the people that I had sort of fostered relationships with and was growing in the scene with were sort of gone or had dispersed, or a lot of the bands had broke up. And so it felt like, you know, I'm a new kid all over again.
Wow.
And so the second time that happened, you know, I've been in the rock scene for 7 years. I played just like straight, like it was the rock and roll scene. Our music was like kind of, we called it like funk punk and rap rock, and it was like a desert twist. It was just like every genre at once, basically. And after that, man, I was just like, I do not want to be like the bitter old guy in the scene, because once the second time the thing happened with the band, it's like I'm gonna go out and it's gonna be a bunch of new kids that are like excited for their first Broadway gig and they're trying to get into the Cobra, and like I've already done all those things, and it's not like I don't want to be friends with those people, because I do.
Yeah.
But there's that certain level of networking where it's like now I'm just going to the bar. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not really. There's not really much to get out of this situation. So I ended up actually linking up with a dude named Frederick Weathersby, who is a trumpet player, and he hosts Nashville Monday Night Jazz. And through that, I met a lot of the jazz scene, the Motown, hip hop, R&B, neo soul, completely different world of Nashville. And that was really awesome, because I actually got to feel like now that I'm starting over, I get to still be new. Like I don't have to go surround myself with a bunch of people that I know way more about like what we're both trying to do than what they do. You know what I mean? So going into this new scene and playing like new music that I hadn't really played yet, it was actually like a fun challenge, because it was like, well, if I'm gonna feel like a new kid, at least I get to feel like a new kid and like fully do it and not be halfway there and then like angry that I have to do this. And then this year, I really took to playing solo gigs. I have a 6-piece band. Love them. It's awesome. We're just not at the point where everyone's making career money right now.
Gotcha.
But I want to make career money, so I'm doing a lot of solo stuff. So, you know, this year I also split off and started going into like the singer-songwriter scene.
Cool. So,
and I've got a lot of homies in like the bluegrass country scene. Yeah. So at this point, it's like my music is very heavy. Like my show audiences look crazy, because I've got all my rock scene buddies and then my bluegrass buddies, and then I've got the solo songwriter guys, and then I've got like the jazz and the hip hop and the Motown guys, and it just looks like like a small map of America, just like in.
That's fun though.
Yeah.
So you've just started over. How old are you, man?
I tell people I'm a 10,000-year-old wizard, because I like that better. But believe it or not, I'm 34. I was born in 1991.
Okay, great. Yeah. I'm 91 too. I just turned 35.
Oh, so, cool. Yeah. Cool.
Did you consider dropping the music thing, or was that never an option for you? Because that's a lot of ups and downs, and to feel, dude, I totally get the starting over with the kids again and being in the same venues and doing the same grind. Because I felt that way in Denver. Yeah. It's like, oh, dude, I've done this for a decade. Yeah. And then after COVID, it was like, dude, what am I doing?
Well, okay, so thankfully, my first probably 10 years in music, I was a drummer and a bassist. Yeah. I moved here and focused, my first like 7 or 8 years here on my rock band that I was the singer of, but I was also the bass player, and I was also freelancing on drums. Mm-hmm. So when that fell apart, both times it fell apart, like I said, the album had just got done. We had just climbed that mountain of like, we beat all the local levels, and now like the gates are opening to go into like the sequel game. You know what I mean? And it's like, I could feel like the golden heavenly mist come out, and I got to put my foot in there, and then we fell back down to level 1. And so that feeling, I think, is what's kept me going this whole time, because I've never actually got to start. People are like, oh, he's still going. In my opinion, man, I haven't started. Like where I'm at is like, until like this is a hobby, and then once you get to where you've got a lot of music out, you've got like your website or whatever you want going, you've got like a full produced show going, you've got all your merch set up, and you've got all the like business assets. until then, like I feel like you're not really at step one yet of like having a music career. Like you can be a musician and you can be a hobbyist, but like I feel like until you're an operating business model, like you're just having fun. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And so I've gotten 99.99% to my version of step one over and over. So for me, it feels like I haven't even actually started, which is crazy because the age thing, but like I don't even think about that, especially in Nashville, because in my opinion, until you're old and wrinkly and gray, you're 22 in Nashville, dude. Like everybody's just 22 to me, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think also like I wanted to go solo forever ago, and if I would have went solo forever ago and this would have happened and happened and happened, maybe I would have been like, dang, I should just quit. But for me, just going solo last year feels like it just doesn't feel like I've been doing this for 20 years. It feels like I've accumulated musical knowledge and experience and resources for 20 years. But like I haven't actually been on like a consistent solo journey doing what I'm doing now. It's been a year and a half.
Totally.
So I'm literally just getting started, and it's like, you know, I don't know how to compare it, but it's like, you know, maybe I was a mechanic for 20 years and now I'm a construction worker. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
All those times, because I was in a band right after high school. We played Vans Warped Tour, and then I got kicked out of that because we started in high school and we just grown apart over time as like becoming young adults and everything.
Sure.
And so, you know, but once again, I was a drummer. So at that point, that was when I was like, I don't ever just want to be a drummer anymore. And I still play drums, but I freelance drums now. And at that point, that was like, drums are my life. I was a high school teacher, middle school teacher, private school teacher.
I saw that about you online, that you were a teacher.
Yeah. You know, it's like, I don't think I've been doing anything consistently long enough to really give myself that mindset of like, man, you know, you've been trying and nothing's been working out. Personally, everything has been working great. I worked with the wrong people. I worked with people like, you know, I went homeless for this. I've given up everything for this. I've had other bands call me and bring me in where I could have shot off 10 times faster, but it was like, you know, I know what the crowd says about them and I know what the crowd says about me. And like, I just need to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Problem was I worked with people that, you know, they're not bad people. They were great musicians, but like at the end of the day, they just wanted something else out of life.
Yeah.
So I feel like I haven't even really got my shot, and I've just been sitting on the bench the whole time. So
something that I used to say is the hardest part about being in a band is getting everyone to show up.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, dude, that is the challenge. And it's like, dude, I tell so many bands that I meet in town, like, if you can all care about this equally, nothing else matters. Like y'all can suck. You can put one song out, and if everyone cares, dude, if one dude's printing the merch and one dude's posting the socials and one dude's booking the shows and one dude's writing the music and everyone really, really cares about it, you're going to go all the way, because that's the only reason bands really are not making it. Everyone wants to be a solo artist. Everyone wants to do all that. And I mean, I've been one of those people. I moved here to sing and to play my own music. But the same thing happened, man. I got drafted into a couple bands for money to play drums and bass, and they were like, why are you trying to do your own thing? You're our drummer. And it's like, no,
like, I always wanted to do my own thing.
I moved here already doing my own thing, releasing my own music, and I needed the side money, so I'm playing drums for you, and I told you I'm not going to do it forever. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like, that thought has haunted me at night as like a quick, just little like devil on my shoulder. But as for like actually literally contemplating like, oh, I'm gonna sell my instruments and give up and go get never. I don't even know how that would look. I don't know what I would do. I can't. I have too ingrained in your identity, skills, bro. Like I have no. I could go back to teaching. I've always told myself like I'll probably go back to teaching when I'm like way older.
Cool.
You know what I mean? But I think with the internet and stuff, man, like age just doesn't, it's not a thing, you know? Your back starts hurting. That's it. Other than that, you know, who cares?
Do you feel like this solo artist thing came out of like, have you always wanted to do that since the very core of your being, since you were young? And then through each progression of, and I'm speaking maybe mirroring just how I've felt in my life, where you were playing drums in a band, you were doing big shows, that fell apart. Then you're joining or making another band, that falls apart. And then finally you get to this, you know, precipice of being your own solo artist, but like, was that somewhere deep in you the whole time?
You know, I wish it was. It was deep in everyone who knew me. Ever, you know, the entire time, like, as soon as I started writing music, everyone was like, hey, dude, like, it's cool that you're in 5 bands. It's cool that you're in these cool different groups and stuff, and, like, your life looks fun. But everyone close to me was like, I know the dudes in that band, and that band, and that band, and that band, and I know you. They are never, ever, ever, ever going to work the way that you work. And I just have always been like so buddy, dude. Like, I want the brotherhood. I want the friendship thing.
Yeah.
I believe like there's a very special, unique like transcendence that happens on stage when you play with the same band every single time.
Totally.
So I've always wanted the band of brothers, because having a songwriter with subs can be great. But dude, when you get 3 to 5 people up there that love each other and that hang out every single day and they know everything about each other and they've played inside and out of the songs 1,000 times, it's like, dude, you can feel it from the crowd.
Yeah.
And it feels awesome. And that's what I've always wanted, man. And you know, the first band that I told you I got kicked out of, one of their main reasons was I had too many ideas. I was the drummer, and then sometimes we'd switch around and I'd play bass, and the songwriter had enough ideas, and he was just like, it's weird that there's 2 leaders in the band. So that for me was like my first clue of like, okay, so you should probably be the leader, because if it happened in this band, it's probably going to happen in every other band that you're in. You're going to be the mouthy drummer who's got too many ideas, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of like, I was like, all right, well, I still want to play drums and bass for other artists, because I do like to show up and shut up and just play my role.
Yeah.
But I also have so many ideas, and, you know, I know from studying so many different things, like I have great leadership capabilities. So I split off. I had my own band, but it was a band. So, you know, we're all in the photos. We're all in the videos. We're all on every contract. We're all in the writer's credits. We're all in the publishing. We're all in literally everything. Everyone gets an equal say.
Cool.
The problem is if you don't feel like doing it, then I don't get to do it. And that was lesson number 2 for me was, you know, if someone can't make it to practice, I can't practice. If someone can't make a show, I don't get to play that show.
Yep.
If someone doesn't like my video idea, then we don't have a video. And it's like you start to waver the discipline and ambition in with the creativity. And it's like, you know, sure, not all my ideas are great, but if you would have let me carry out all 100 of my ideas, it would have got better and better and better and better. But I was only allowed to pull the trigger on 10 ideas because you said no more than you said yes. So now we have 10% of what we realistically could have had if everyone would have just been all in.
Can I ask you, in these bands that you're equal parts, are you equal parts on paper too? Like, do you have band agreements where you're equal parts?
To be real, man, we were only equal parts on paper. I was booking the shows. I was writing the songs. I was open for creativity, but I just think that where my mind was at with the creativity and moving the music forward, I could see 5 steps ahead, and some of the like the people that I was working with like hadn't really computed that level of sound that I was coming out with, and they were sort of like stuck in their old style. So I was essentially like writing the foundational layer of their parts and then letting them put their own spin on it. I was running socials. I was directing and editing the music videos. I was getting the contracts. I was off paper, I was 95% of the band. On paper, I was 33% of the band, because at least they're showing up. At least we're all at practice. At least we're all putting money in. At least we're all sacrificing our wages to throw into the band fund. So it's like, you know, it's either that or nothing was what it was with the situation.
Yeah. Let me ask you this then. Do you feel like being in your solo artist era now, are you moving faster?
I'm moving 1,000 times faster.
Awesome.
There's new pros and there's new cons.
Okay.
Basically what I've been doing, I set up a 6-piece band. Over the last year since starting, I think I've lost like 2 people and gained 3 or 4. Because it's just like, dude, I just started and brought in whoever was like, yeah, I'll do it, you know?
Yeah.
And over time, like, everyone in my band wants to be more involved and they want to do more stuff, and they know my story, and it's like, dude, I'll let you help with this and I'll let you help with this, but like, it's got to be a solo thing, man. Like, I just, you could turn on me tomorrow, and that's kind of what happened with my last band. Was like, I was told over and over and over, like, dude, go solo, go solo, go solo. And I was just like, nah, dude, like, these are my bros, these are my homies. And dude, it bit me in the ass so hard. Like, it ended up being like the worst thing that could happen, because it was like the people that I've been over backwards for just like ultimately turned on me. And after booking all the shows, after running literally every aspect and every column of the thing, you know, I got blamed as the bad guy because I wanted to work harder than everybody else. I was texting people at 3 a.m. with new song ideas, and it was like, that annoyed people. They didn't like that. They didn't like waking up to paragraphs of inspiration, because they just didn't care
They
enough,
weren't in the
know
same headspace. Yeah.
And it was like, dude, I never yelled at anybody. I never blew up on anybody, but it was like, those are my best friends. And when it fell apart, the way it fell apart was just like, holy shit, like, you cannot trust anyone in a thing where we're all on the same contract. Everyone's in the branding. Everyone's on the poster. Everyone's in the video. Everyone gets an equal say. Like, the moment someone just decides, like, oh, I need money, or I love this girl, or like, I have to watch my dog, or like, whatever it is, dude, it's like, your dreams can be crushed instantly. Like, you can work 1,000 miles an hour, and if one dude breaks his arm, you're done. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I hate that. But the new people in my band, dude, like, I've had to essentially create, my band now has probably 7 or 8 different sets based on who's going to be there. And, you know, our last gig that we played, our drummer couldn't be there. So we literally all plugged in DI, and I kicked a kick drum while I played my instrument and sang. And that was the set. If our guitar player can't be there, or our keyboard can't play there, we do a stripped down trio. If no one can be there, I'll at least try to get my fiddle player, and it's just her and I. And then I have a full set of just me by myself.
So
and
there's no slowing down.
Dude, I'm just not, I've built the rocket ship 3 times, and I've seen what makes a rocket ship fall apart. And, you know, excuse the language, but I'm trying to be unfuckable, dude. It's like, I don't want anybody to ever get in my way other than me. Like, I'm cool if I'm in my way, because I can fix that. But I can't change the way that other people live their lives, you know?
Something I've said since going solo too is, like, I'm doing this with or without you.
Yeah.
To anybody.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't say it to them, but that's my mentality with people who are playing in the band, or with people on the team, or people who are helping out, or with, you know, venues and the industry and the scene. It's like, no matter who it is, it's like, I'm doing this with or without you.
Yeah, man. My, like, probably, like, best friend, big sister figure, I've been, like, sort of shadowing her and working for her and just, like, helping her out as a friend. She's a country artist named Cicero, and she told me that what she'll tell people is, I want you, I don't need you. That's powerful.
That's pretty powerful, especially coming from her.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. It's definitely more weight on my shoulders, but luckily that's what my last band was anyways. It was already like, all for one and one for all. Okay, the cameras are off now. Let me get to work. You guys have fun going off and hanging out with your girlfriends and stuff. You know what I mean? And, like, that's the reality of what it was. Was I'm just going to do everything, and then we'll split the money 3 ways. Thanks for being here, you know?
Yeah, that's tough.
And maybe if we would have kept going, I eventually would have been like, all right, dude, I'm taking a booking fee. I'm taking a writer's fee. And, you know, if there's a record deal coming in, let's be honest, what's the real writer split look like? Y'all know. You know what I mean? But
it gets to that point, man. It gets to that point, especially the older we get.
Yeah.
The older we get, and people's priorities change, and the deal changes.
I kind of made a mistake of just, we all put the same amount of money into the studio. So I went on BMI and was just like, hey, I love you guys. Thanks so much for doing that. I'm going to lie, and I'm going to create a legal contract that says all 3 of us wrote this song. And I did that with, unfortunately, like, every song we wrote together. And it's a lie. That didn't happen. I wrote all of it. I wrote the guitar, I wrote the drums, I wrote the bass. They came up with their solos, a couple fills. And so, you know, when the thing ended, like, I mean, it was kind of a mess, dude. We had a manager who just, like, he basically stole the band name, logged me out of everything, and was like, if you want your assets back, you're going to do this. And it kind of blackmailed me, you know what I mean? And I went online and I kind of explained what happened in the least but most dramatic way, you know what I mean? And I just asked, like, everyone who follows me, like, do y'all want to see me fight? Because everyone knew. Like, everyone who was watching closely knew that it's like, this is my band, but I'm not putting my name on it. I'm putting our name on it. And so I just said, like, should I fight for this band name and keep going, or should I just go solo? And like, dude, 80% of my followers were like, dude, we've been telling you, like, none of these people are gonna want it like you want it, you know?
Well, and are they still the band? Are they still doing it?
No, it was over. I mean, the drummer moved home, and I think the old guitar player is like, he's freelancing a little bit. I think he's doing like Broadway gigs and stuff.
I'm surprised they wouldn't just give you the name. Like, why would they even care?
The band said, yes, let's give you the name. The manager just went on like a crazy mental breakdown. And like, I feel bad. Like, what he did was ultimately just like stupid. And I could just blast him. But like, ultimately, he did work really hard for 3 years. Yeah. And I think he got really excited and he made it his life. And when everything fell apart, I just think like, something in his brain cracked and he went like really irrational.
Were you his big band?
We were the only. He wasn't even a band manager. He was he was a filmmaker, and he was good.
He's a friendager.
Exactly, yeah. And you know, I wouldn't say as much as like a manager, as much as he was like a fluffer. He made our merch booth look awesome. He helped us like shake hands with the people that we needed to be talking to. He didn't really get anything done as far as like, I pretty much handled like every major opportunity that we were getting, but he tried, you know. Sure. And he filmed every show, and he really hustled for us. And I think that, dude, like, a large part of his soul just died when it happened, and I think he freaked, and he didn't know who to blame, and so he kind of came after me a little bit, and which is hilarious because I was the only one doing anything besides him anyways. But yeah, he took the name, he took our Google Drive, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or I think I said that already, but like
yeah,
TikTok, bro, like Google, Gmail,
and he still has it.
He called every venue that I booked and said, the band broke up, this show doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, jeez.
I had already had the next 3 mixes and masters completely done. Like, I had all of it ready to go because I knew halfway through the year, these guys, like, I just felt the Judas energy, dude. I was just like, this is definitely going to happen. We had very powerful girlfriends in the band, and they were too powerful. And I was just like, your girlfriend's not in the band. And I had to say that. I had to say that more than once. Which
dude, it's funny that you're talking about all this. I've had all this happen in my life too. Every single one of these things.
I think everyone who really cares and who has been through multiple bands has been there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And yeah, dude, I just... You know, he basically was like, you know, you're going to give me $1,000. You're going to give me 15% of profit for the rest of your life, no negotiation date, and you're going to give me 30% of all rights to everything. Like, every decision you make for the rest of your life will be in my hands, or you don't get any of your assets back. And I just laughed.
Did you hire an attorney? Quick pause here. If you're an artist listening to this and thinking about how you can get your music in front of more listeners, I want to talk to you about Discovr. Discovr is a platform built to help independent artists get their music on a mainstream radio. It's a real opportunity to move beyond just socials and playlisting and put your songs in a space where people are actively listening. If you're serious about growing your audience and seeing where your music can go, take a look at discoverradio.com. That's Discover without the E, radio.com. All right, let's get back into it.
Dude, it happened in like November, bro. So like, I talked to like 2 or 3 different people, and they were like, this is the absolute worst time you could talk to an attorney.
Sure it is.
And I was like, dude, that band was, we were once again, like, it was like the doors to the next level were opening. And it was like, I can sit around and hope that an attorney fixes this. There are certain things about those songs that it's like, we broke up 7 days after the album came out. And I wrote those songs, and even though the contract is me lying, saying that we wrote the songs, I definitely wrote those songs, and those dudes know it. I don't think that they would really have like a big problem with me playing them, but I do, and I am, and I'm going to continue to. It's like with releasing them, that's something that I really want to like kind of dive into. I've consulted like so many people
I was
about
gonna say, are you releasing them as a solo artist then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got rid of everything that they could claim.
But it's not like you're in a shortage of songs. Like, dude, you've released a lot of stuff as a solo artist, even a year and a half, more than I had released in a year and a half.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, it's really more about the fact that I put almost 10 years into sculpting those songs from like the little baby riff that they started when I first was like, I can do more than play drums.
Sure.
All the way up to like, we finished it with the first drummer of the old band. We were about to record it, and then the first baby pops out, and then we go through the whole grind with the second dude, and I finally get those songs done. We dropped $30,000 into the album because we were like, we're going all the way.
Yeah.
And then the band breaks up, and it was just like, dude, I'm taking my favorite songs from this album, and like, I'm not gonna just be like, rest in peace, I'm moving on. Like those, I put some effort into that, so I just rewrote them, gave them a new style, and they're not out yet, but I'm trying to figure out like the best possible way to go into that. I mean, I think I'm cool with those dudes. Like, we don't talk, we're not really friends anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think we hate each other. I think we're all sad. I think enough time went by where we were all like, man, that was really stupid and dramatic. We put 10 years into that, and then it ended the way that it ended, and I think it made all of us look bad, and they didn't realize that as it was happening. Like, yo, y'all, because a lot of it came back on me. It was kind of just like, if the government's bad, it's the president's fault. You know what I mean? And so I became the bad guy, but it's like, y'all's name's on this. You know what I mean? Like, making me look bad makes all of us look stupid. So
it's just a bummer when bands have to go through that too, and I heard this once back in the day, and I always think about this, but every band has an expiration date.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
Yeah.
But solo artists, man, that's where it's at, dude. It sucks. I mean, and I still have the same curse. I do not want to just play a bunch of 3-chord songs. I want a show. I want a full circus. And I have put together a band of people that I love so much. Somehow me going solo and not giving as much credit where I'm at in my Nashville journey, dude, I have 5 or 6 people that are 10 times the humans and the musicians that I had before who get no credit, and they just show up and they just want to be there because they like the music, and we've all gotten along really well, and
what's good is you have clear expectations from the start too.
Yeah, well, it's getting to the point now where I just love these people so much that I'm just like, yo, how about all you guys write like your own 2 to 3 minute special feature, like write a song that features you, and we will learn it, and you can be in charge of my band for like 3 minutes of the show.
Oh, cool.
And then we're even putting like a 4-hour show together where like my guitar player has a whole set.
Wow.
So I told my fiddle player, hey, let's do like, my guitar player's set is like Southern rock. My fiddle player does like bluegrass and old time. So I was like, let's put together an old time set. I got a jazz drummer. I was like, let's put together a jazz set. You're in charge. Okay. Let's put together my banjo trombone player set. You're in charge. My trumpet player. You're in charge. And it's like, I want to give back to all these people because I'm not going to change my name. Like, I'm a solo artist. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But I can be the ringleader of this circus, and they can be the freaks, and they can have their own show. And like, I want them to know how much like I love them and respect them, and really want them to be a part of this. And so I set my whole show up where it's like, I'm Brother Dusty, but that's enough about me. Check out this guy.
So what kind of shows are you playing where it requires you to put together these long sets or these like segmented sets?
So it's really interesting because the bio that you read off, that accounts for like a part of my show, but like, dude, at my core, my music is like, I would say the quickest thing I would compare myself to is like Rage Against the Machine and Beastie Boys.
I was literally going to say that, dude. I was like Beastie Boys. Beastie Boys 100% as I was listening today. But Rage Against the Machine too. And maybe some Chili Peppers in there?
Yeah.
Some of that?
I always say if Black Sabbath and Rage Against the Machine had a baby, I'm that baby.
There you go. All right.
And then Jack White raised me. But the music goes in so many different levels, dude. I mean, I started incorporating jazz into the rap rock thing, and then that first show that I told you after the band broke up, we didn't have enough time to really develop it, so we went acoustic. I played my upright bass for the first time at this gig.
Oh, cool.
Acoustic guitar and drums, and we did this funky, like Johnny Cash version of all these funky punk songs.
Okay.
So we rewrote like almost metal music into this like Billy Strings-esque. I don't know, dude. Like, people are like, what kind of music you playing? I'm like, stop it. Like,
Wow.
I don't want to answer that question. And so people really liked it. So now, like, the set kind of starts off, like, our circuit, I call it the circus set. Okay. It starts off blues, goes into bluegrass, goes into calypso, goes into jazz, goes into jam, desert vibes, okay. And then that goes into, like, rap rock, and then that ends in, like, a heavy punk rock. Okay. And it's, like, the whole thing, like, I even hate telling people because I love when people don't know what they're going to hear. Because, like, the way that they describe it to me is so cool. Because, like, they're like, oh, I thought I had you figured out. And then 2 more songs, and then you blew my mind. And then 3 more songs, and, like, I was clueless, and I've never seen anything like this. And then they're like, but you kept going. And then you kept going.
Well, and so for, like, what are you doing this for every set, no matter if it's long, short,
whatever? That's what we did for the first year. I got really tired of writing that in an email, so I put together what I call the Bandit set.
Okay.
Which is like...
You mean in an email to the talent buyer?
Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
Because, dude, it's just like, no one wants to hear that, dude. You just sound dumb when you're like, oh, we play blues and jazz and rap and rock and hip-hop.
How do you explain
and
that?
Funk and bluegrass, and they're just like, shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
totally. Yeah.
Until I have like a really nice, high-quality video of the set to be like, this is what we do. Dude, I just realized, like, there's so much more to get out of the fact that I'm playing to 4 to 5 niches. So now what I'm doing is I'm booking rock shows with our rock set, the Bandit shows with our Bandit set, and playing with bluegrass and country people.
Okay.
We go play rap shows, and I do all the hip hop based stuff. We do kind of have access to like a little bit of the jazz community. And then there's like the singer-songwriter stuff, and I have like a whole like soft, like lullaby, kind of like love ballad stuff. And it's like, I can go and I can milk all of these different crowds, and then we'll headline a show, and I'll bring everybody. And that's when I'll have like my birthday party last year. I had like my favorite rock artist, my favorite jazz artist, and my favorite country artist in town all open up. Nice. And then we went in the middle, and it was just like all of those crowds had something from our set to love. And then there was also just enough to where they're like, whoa, what is this though? You know?
What's been some of your strategy for promoting a show like this or promoting music like this where it's so eclectic and a little all over the place? How do you promote? What's your strategy like for that?
Dude, honestly, turn your phone off and go outside. Yeah. That's my strategy. Text people, message people, text people. I've like I said, dude, I've played in over 30 bands since I moved here. I've been here for 9 years. I'm starting my career off as a dude who just moved here last year. Yeah. But I have like the brain of a dude who's been here for 9 years. So if I have a show, I'm just going to text 100 people and be like, hey, I have a show. You know what I mean? Sure, and then, just to appease the venue, I'll go and like, I make my own graphics. I'll throw a graphic up. I'll play the game a little bit.
How about building new fans though? Because, and I say that because your friends aren't your fans. As much as they'll come to your shows and they'll support,
that's true.
Your friends aren't your fans. How are you strategizing to build your fan base with such a unique genre base?
A lot of collaborative measures. Once again, a lot of going outside, dude. A lot of just going out and networking with people genuinely and not being like, what can you do for me? But when I meet a new person, I fucking open up my Instagram and I hand it to them. I'm just like, throw it in because we might never speak again. I might see you 3 years down the road and you become my best friend. You might be my bandmate 10 years from now. Like, everyone's important. It don't matter what they do, you know? Yeah. And that
I will say Nashville's pretty good for that too.
It is, because everybody here is so special, you know.
And everyone, people don't have as big of egos to be like.
It's not like an LA thing.
Yeah, it's not the LA thing.
It's like humble LA.
Yeah, people aren't tit for tat like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I am where right. The reason I was like a little late today was I was just with a social media girl who's like,
nice.
I've got like probably 5 or 6 people right now that I'm lining up and I'm scheduling to just be like, it's time for me to play the game.
Yeah.
I recorded 20 to 25 songs last year.
Yeah.
And I just have them sitting in a Google Drive folder. I'm using that for networking and getting myself into opportunities. And I'm working on the release strategies, but I don't want to get behind myself. So I'm going to like just stock up, and that way once the song comes out, I already have enough to where I can go ahead and start working on the next song. And I do want to attempt the whole, like, we're dropping a song every month, every 6 weeks, 2 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it be.
Yeah.
I want to try that. I have been so busy living in reality, booking actual gigs,
Yeah.
going and playing actual music, that I just, every now and then, man, like I think 2 months of this year, I actually was able to sit down on Instagram and like schedule a post for every single day of the month.
Yeah.
But other than that, dude, it's like
It's tough to do it all, man. And you are.
I'm doing everything.
It's you now.
Yeah.
That's, as a solo artist, it's like you don't even have anyone to lean on anymore.
Yeah, and Tristan's helping a little bit with like the booking and stuff, but I'm still doing, because so much of booking at this like phase in the game, bro, is like, who do you know? It don't matter. Like Tristan can send 1,000 emails, but if I don't have a certain number on Spotify or something, it just doesn't matter, man.
Yeah.
The way I book my tours is I find one friend who knows musicians, or I find one musician and I say, what are the best venues in town? What are the best bands that vibe with what we're doing? Do you want to be a part of it? Who can be a part of it? I build the roster. Then I hit up the venue, unless they want to do it themselves. Mm-hmm. And then I just show up and play, dude. And I just really bank off of the faith that I have like a fantastic product with Billy Mays here. You know what I mean? And dude, it's great. Like, bro, we just went to Atlanta, and I knew, but I hadn't really processed it, that it was going to be all super heavy alt rock bands. We didn't have our drummer, and we just went fiddle, banjo, 2 acoustic guitars, and an upright bass. And I was like, they're either going to hate us, or they're going to think this is hilarious and love it. And they were cracking up and dancing, bro. Like got like, I mean, they were like moshing and stuff for the other bands, but like they were dancing. I sold almost the most merch I've ever sold. But
wow.
People loved that it was just like,
just different.
We had mosh pit, hoedown, mosh pit, and it was just funny. You know what I mean? But it was just like, even that, dude. Like we go somewhere we don't belong, and people still love it, and that's not even on me. That's the product that me and this group of people have put together that I just have so much faith in. You put me solo, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. I'm better than someone who just picked up their guitar yesterday, but like I got work to do. But my band, dude, I will be all the way like Kanye West arrogant about this band. You know what I mean? Because like we really are.
Yeah.
And that's not me saying it. That's everyone else. I got people that don't like me that are like, bro, that's the greatest thing I've seen in Nashville. You know what I mean? Sound guys.
I need to come to one of these shows, man.
Dude, yeah. We'll walk in with 6 people and 20 instruments. And the sound guy, I will see tears.
Yeah.
And they'll just be like, oh, so what's this? And then we play the show, dude, and the sound guy's like, that was my favorite band I've ever ran sound for.
Oh,
and
nice.
like, dude, that happens so often. Yeah. It's amazing, dude.
Wow.
Because it's like the fact that you're saying it in the position that we put you in is just like, this must be special. You know what I mean?
So what's the next step then? What is, you've talked a little bit about putting together these shows and stuff, but I mean, like, what's the real tangible moving forward? What are we trying to do? What are the goals?
I think my next goal is, I just actually developed this plan with the lady that I sat down with. I have like 6 different content creators. And I might even cancel like some potential tours and just be like, hey, nothing matters except this right now. We need all the videos and photos and content we can get. And I'm just going to take the rest of the year. We're going to tour like once or twice a month for like 3 or 4 days at a time. but everyone save your weekends, and we're going to link up in various places, and we're going to get 200 videos.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to play the internet game, and we're just going to like blow up on the internet or die, bro. Like it's just like
you have to play the internet game. You have to.
Because for not playing the internet game, where I'm at right now is crazy, dude. Like I've made 1,000 followers this year not playing the internet game.
Yeah.
Literally, bro, just going to being a person. I go out like once a week. You know what I mean? And so it's like, damn, dude, like if I went out more or if I went super heavy on the internet, like what could even happen? So I think that's the next move. And like I said, I have 2.5 albums done. Just chilling, dude.
That's great.
So I got to put those out. And I think that's really what matters right now. My band, I put this band together, and it's funny. It's kind of a curse because they're so good that the more shows we play, the more I'm exposing them to the scene, and the more people that are like, can I hire you? So it's like, I have to keep playing gigs, because if I go 2 months without playing a gig in my band, they're gonna play gigs. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
So it's like I have to stay consistently to like hold the band together and make sure that when we do get a show, we're super tight, right?
Yeah.
So I still got to be playing gigs. We're a little over Nashville right now. I would say we're a little over Nashville in terms of like, let's play every small venue with every band that hits us up. We did that for a year. It was awesome. Love all those people. Wish I could go longer. But at this point, it's becoming a bad business strategy.
Yeah.
It's time to, only play once every 2 or 3 months max.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a house party or a festival.
The way I look at playing in town is it's for the content.
Yeah.
Like if I go play a show in town, it's for the because you're not making fans in Nashville.
Yeah.
At least not like huge fans and fans for life.
Yeah.
Like you might make some friends.
You might make some bandmates.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You know?
you might make some bandmates, but like you don't come here to make fans, but you play shows here so that you can get the content. Say you're playing in Nashville and learn. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because everybody here is better than the figuratively you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I tell people like are like, what's Nashville like as a musician? And it's like, bro, the cashier at the grocery store and the dollar store are better than you at what you do. Like, there's no escape. Everyone you meet is smarter and more talented than you are, and it's the coolest thing in the world. Like, dude, small talk here is headache conversations in my hometown. Like the stuff that I would want to talk about back home would stress people out because like I can't think this hard right now, dude. And here it's like,
or they just want to understand.
Dude, you can meet a random stranger on the street and within 10 seconds you're Alex Jones. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you can just dive all the way in and talk about anything and everything with people here, dude.
Yeah.
And I love it here, but yeah, I think I have to do some maintenance with the band, and then lots of photos, videos, recordings, releases.
Yeah.
And I really need to start pitching, dude. I haven't done like at this point. It's like, dude, I could probably just reach out to like a label or an agency or like anything like that, and it's like I haven't even really messed with that at all. And I'm so busy
usually what
maintaining.
a manager can be helpful for too.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And I've had a couple like assistant managers that come in and like they're like, oh, I'll do this for you and do this. Yeah. And it's like, I kind of stand firm on like if you want to be a band manager and you say you're managing 10 bands, then you're a friend. You're a friendager at that point, because that's not a manager is a full-time job at any other career. How you gonna be the manager at 5 different businesses? That's not real.
Yeah, it just depends too. A 10 would be, I'd be like, do you even have time? Like, what are you doing?
Well, if it's somebody who is all the way up and all they have to do is snap their fingers and you're headlining Coachella or something, you know what I mean? It's then do what you're gonna do. But if it's just a local homie who's like, oh, I'll be your band manager. I manage this band and this artist and this band and this artist. It's like, all right, you ain't got time for like. I'm just going to be paying you to do like one task a week at that point. You know what I mean?
Totally, man.
But I do want a manager and I do want to like step into all that stuff. But
yeah, it sounds like you're cruising, man. 1.5 years, man. That's nothing. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
you're cruising.
They say it takes 10 years. I refuse. I did 10 years. I did 10 years with my old band.
Yeah.
And I'm trying everything that I can to take everything that I accumulated through that band and immediately apply it over to what I'm doing now. And, you know, unfortunately, it's just things like the musical catalog and like the digital presence and the stuff like that.
It takes a lot.
But it's not, I don't think it's going to take that long. I definitely don't think it's going to take 10 years. I think 5 years to be like dreams come true level, you know what I mean, is how I see it.
When you say you the doors were opening, you got a taste, what did that look like? Did that look like you were getting radio play? Did that look like you were going on national tours? What did that really look like for you?
Dude, it's just kind of like more in the air. It's like your toes to your fingers just light up, and it's just like, dude, we're not a local band anymore. Like,
you're doing it.
Doors open that wouldn't even pay attention to you before that. You know what I mean? And it's like, it feels complete. It's like we have a full merch table. We have an album out. We have some PR going up. We have a list of music videos just sitting, just waiting. We have like our social media is rising. We have tours. We have people booking us tours. We have producers reaching out. We have every column of the graph of what it is to be in a band, like lighting all the way up consistently every day. We have Seek agents calling us, and it's like we had literally all of it, and it was like, yo, there's people that are still trying to get into the Cobra on a Tuesday, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like we made it. Like we made it to level 1 is how I felt. You know what I mean? Like we're no longer just like a group of dudes in a band. We're a business now. I'm super close with where I'm at. I'm just missing products right now. Like I need like a better EPK. I need more music out. I need more it's funny, I have 2 live concert videos. In one of them I lost my voice, so I'm like talking like this in the mic like the whole time, and then the other one it was really funny, and you know, he did his best and he killed it, but our trumpet player doesn't play trumpet the whole show, and I really wanted a fiddle player. We hadn't got our fiddle player yet, so I bought our trumpet player a fiddle.
Oh my
God. I was just like, bro, you're a good musician, just figure it out.
No, dude. Oh my gosh, it's like not even the same thing at all.
Yeah, no, I know. We found out, and he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad, but like, you know, he just sort of needed to work a little bit on his like intonation. And this concert video that we got was his very, very first time. Because the first like 5 times I was like, look, dude, you're going to play fiddle. I'm not plugging you in. You're going to go up and you're going to go through the motions, bro. And you're just going to play the fiddle and no one's going to hear you, but you're going to get comfy. And the first time you plug in, and so we played in Chicago opening up for this punk band called The Haunt. Biggest show we've had so far.
Wow.
And he was like, I'm feeling it, bro. And the band was like, no. And I was like, I love your faith, bro. Go for it. And so, like, we've got this set, dude. Super high quality video, pre-edited footage. Like, dude, everything. And then just like...
the violin just doesn't hit.
It's not... Okay. The guitar was awesome. The drums, awesome. The bass, awesome. Trombone, trumpet, awesome. Fiddle player... Yes, he was playing the fiddle. It wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't bad.
All right.
But it was just like, I don't want to send this to people and be like, we have a fiddle player. Because what if they love fiddle? You know what I mean? But like, dude, you know, we've been doing it for like 3 or 4 months. And he didn't ask to play fiddle. I just asked him to figure it out. He knew his G major scale day 1, dude. I was proud of him, you know?
Nice. There you go.
But that's all we have for those. So it's like, I gotta get more of that, you know? I don't even remember what brought me there.
I don't know. Just talk about next steps and all of that, man.
Yeah.
What would you say, man? I was thinking about this and just your journey in becoming this just morphing identity, really. Yeah. And you talked about like maybe just bringing it back to your core and wanting to do this solo artist thing, and were already leading these bands, but your identity had been a part of that the whole time, and maybe you didn't even see it.
Yeah.
What would you say to the artist who's trying to find their identity as an artist, or maybe they're in a band and they don't know who they are in that band, or maybe they're in high school and they're like, I want to be in this industry. I don't know where I fit into this industry. What would you say to that person about how to find their identity?
Dude, truth be told, I think a lot of the questions that you were asking a new artist, not you, I mean, period, like the questions like, what's your brand identity and stuff? It's like, dude, cart before the horse. Go play the music, dude. Like, go out. It's like, I'm discovering things about myself right now that you could have asked me five years ago, is this you? And I would have been like, no. But then it's like, well, go play 1,000 gigs and find out, because what you think you are and what you are two completely different things.
Yep.
And I think trying to find your identity before you've even really done anything at all is like, you're kind of establishing an ego based on literally no foundation whatsoever. I think you should just go play. I think you should go do everything, and just say yes to everything. Especially if you're new in Nashville, dude, you should play every single gig for at least a year, probably 2 years, maybe 3 years. You should play every single gig until you know everyone in the crowd 5 shows in a row. Yeah. And if that happens, slow down and start touring. You know what I mean? But if you're still meeting people at every gig, keep doing it, dude. And as you get going and people start telling you what you are, because I think I hate poser musicians that are just trying to replicate something, but my weakness is I feel like I'm Rage Against the Machine. I would say 1% of people who come up to me and tell me what they think I am say I'm Rage Against the Machine. Everyone says all this stuff that I would have never thought of. So when I'm out here telling people like, oh, I'm like a Rage Against the Machine, I got people that are like, you're like if Bill Monroe sang for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And it's like, I would have never said that. I got people comparing me to bands I've never heard of. Yeah. My friends made fun of me and they said I was what's the long-haired protest guy? Jesse Wells.
Oh, yeah.
They say I look like Jesse Wells and Youngblood had a baby.
Oh, I see.
When I wear
that.
like leather pants and stuff, dude. So it's like you can say whatever you think that you are, but like what you want to be is going to be way different after you've played 1,000 gigs. You know what I mean?
No, I think that's a great answer. You gotta go out and play.
And then I also think like if you have a hunch, if you feel like if you feel like you're working way harder than someone in your band and they're holding you back and you have to shoot down opportunities and you love that person, you can love them without them being in your band, because what's going to happen is you're going to wait around and you're not going to love them anymore and they're not going to be in your band and you're going to ruin a friendship. I've done that a lot. Yeah. And thankfully I'm still cool with some of those dudes, but like, you know, I had friends for 10 to 15 years that it's like, I don't know if I'll ever really talk to them again, because I knew that I should have replaced them years ago and I didn't, because I was just like, oh, we're bros. And then it bit me so hard when I did that, because it ruined the friendship. And it's like,
you got to kind of go through some of that in life, though. It's same with like roommates sometimes, or even like just there's different relationships in your life where you have to learn the hard way, because you won't otherwise. Yeah,
no, you do. And I think my problem was, you know, after the second baby with the second drummer on the second album, it was just like, all right, this is my fault. You know what I mean? It's I think I did everything right, but I did put myself in that same position twice, and there were signs from day one that I probably could have picked up on, but I was in denial, and I was like, oh, I can fix them. You know what I mean? And somehow I attracted that, and I just think that the only way to solve a problem is to take accountability, whether or not it's your fault. It could be everyone else's fault but yours. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the only way to fix it is pretend that it's your fault and find what the solution is to the problem that you made for yourself. Even if it's somebody else, dude. And it was somebody else. I fully deserve to blame other people. But, you know, I could have been in a different room with different people. I could have picked anybody different. I could have saw from day one this dude wants to go work in a cubicle instead of play drums. But he says he wants to play drums, so I'm going to pretend I believe him. And, you know, it came to the day where he was like, I really like this cubicle and this baby, and I love being married. And it's just like, well, you know, I don't hate you for that, but
it's also
we just spent $50,000. You know how you know I don't know what to do about that.
There's a big portion of people who are maybe in this industry just for a period of time, who they want it if it's all there working out right away. Yeah, and if it's not, they're not in it.
Yes,
and
so many of those people.
And I get it, because someone said this once. It was Adam Neely, if you know Adam Neely. He's an online guy, and he's like, I don't blame people for leaving music because it's not a reasonable career. It's not reasonable.
No,
but
not at all.
But for those who are into it, I mean, you just I don't know what else to say. I think
musicians see existence on Earth for a completely different lens, dude. Yeah. Like we're like aliens, bro. Like we see the world through, you know, it's just like we see money differently. We see like food differently, and we get to live different lifestyles, dude. It's like you know you don't make as much money, but you got to admit we get a lot of free food, we get a lot of free drinks, we get a lot of free couches to sleep on, and it's like a lot of the things that people are using money as a middleman for.
I think it's more the experiences.
Yeah.
Like I think about that in my life and the experiences I've had and the places I've gotten to go and the things I've gotten.
Yeah.
I've gotten to play music all over the country.
Yeah.
I've played Red Rocks twice. I've been on late night. Like, who gets to do that?
My life is a vacation, and every day is Saturday.
Yeah. Who gets to do that? I mean, like that's why we do it, is really because we get to look back on that and go, look at what I did.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And it's fun and it lives in us.
For sure.
The music lives in us. And
I think people, I honestly, I think the majority of especially musicians on the internet, they really want to be the viral superstar.
Yeah.
They want to be rich and famous, and they're going to give it a few years. But a lot of people are like, oh, I haven't made it yet. And it's like, bro, making it is writing a song and putting it out. You made it.
Yeah.
You make cookies. You know what I mean? Like, you make a cookie and you eat the cookie. That's what being a musician is. That's how you make it.
Yeah.
But there's so many of these people that when they say that, like, I mean, that's how I spot an imposter or someone who knows nothing about what they're talking about, where they're like, you know, you've been going at it for so long, but you haven't made it. Or when are you going to make it? Or like, oh, you're trying to make it. And it's like, my whole life is a vacation. Like, yeah, I'm not rich, bro, but like, you had to wake up at 6 a.m., bro. Like, I sleep in every day as long as I want. It's a problem. You know what I mean? But like, I'm making it. Like, every day I'm making it. And it's not about, oh, do you have a star in Hollywood on the ground? Like, what? Who? That's not real. Like, I know too much about all the PR and the media and stuff. It's like, dude, that's not what this is. And there's so many people that find that out, and they're like, oh, so I don't get to be the next Beatles because I blew up on TikTok once. And they're just like, maybe music is too hard. And it's like, you don't love music is the answer to that little conundrum going on in your brain.
Yeah.
I'm not here to make it. Of course I want to play stadiums. Of course I want to travel the world and I want to meet all my heroes, dude. Yeah. But like, I'm here because I genuinely want to wake up every day and be creative and hang out with my friends and go be the party and just like have a good life, and like that's making it to me. You know what I mean? And obviously, you know, maybe I'll get a Grammy. I don't even want to say this on camera, but like I have like a half of a Grammy in the weirdest way possible.
How do you get half a Grammy?
Dude, I shouldn't even have brought it up.
You should have. No, I'm interested now.
I didn't order it. Technically, I'm eligible for a certificate because I have 5% of a song that is on a deluxe edition of an album that
got a Grammy.
Oh shit! So it's like,
that's awesome.
It's hilarious because like I could drop like $150 and throw it on the fridge and be like, oh, I got a Grammy. But like, back to the point.
I think you should. I'm totally on team. Get that Grammy.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
When
people are like, "How'd you get that?" I'm gonna be like, "Oh, I got 5% of a song that's on the deluxe edition."
So what's your 5%? Like, what did you write it or a song?
Originally, when the session happened, I had 20%, and they went and they rewrote it because they felt like the song's called "The Garden." It was a lot of flowers and sunshine and rain and stuff like that, and it was a lot of like more simple terms. And I think that the writers were like, yo, this should probably be a little bit more like passionately poetic and philosophical. So they went in and like made it a little wordier. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And so it went from 20% to 5%, which my name's still on it. It's still pretty cool.
Hey, name's still on it.
And I thought it was on the album, but I guess it's on the deluxe edition. But it was hilarious because I was more just stoked for my buddy that got the Grammy. But I was like Googling, like out of curiosity, like, does this count? And they were like, actually, yes, you can order. You don't get a real Grammy, but you get a piece of paper that says you're worth a Grammy. And it's just like, I don't know if I want that to be like my first. It's a cool thing. Like, I should just suck it up and get it.
I think you should get it, but not only should you get it, but that should be plastered all over your EPK.
Yeah.
You should absolutely be saying, I am a Grammy award-winning songwriter.
Yeah.
Boom.
I just, like, I hate the thought of, like, 90% of people are going to be like, how'd you get that Grammy? And I'll tell them, they're like, that's amazing, bro. Yeah. people who
Some people
really
will be
have
like,
Grammys,
"What?" Yeah.
people who actually have a Grammy, people who actually work with Grammy people, and like they're gonna hear the story and they're like, oh, you.
No, dude, I don't think they will. I think if anybody is a sane person in this industry, they will. Everyone's playing the game and they'll understand.
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
playing the game. Can I tell you a story then?
Yeah.
So last year I played at the Bluebird and I just did the open mic.
Yeah.
Something told me one day, I was like, and it was a goal of mine. I wanted to go do it. And something told me, you should sign up this morning. So I signed up that morning. It was my first time trying. I got it. Cool. I got in and I played. And then halfway through the set, they go, hey, we're actually pausing tonight. We have a special guest and a surprise. And they gave all the accolades. And I was like, this sounds like Ryan Tedder.
Yeah.
And then they go, and it's Ryan Tedder. And Ryan Tedder came out and played. So on my EPK, I say that I opened for Ryan Tedder.
Yeah.
Because I fucking did.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I did it, but I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like,
for sure.
But that's the kind
It
of,
counts.
dude, you're playing the game and you have to in this industry.
Yeah.
You really have to.
That is something that I do need to do and sit down on my website and take everything that I've done, period, outside of what I've done with my solo career and just be like Brother Dusty, because I was named Brother Dusty when I did everything else that I was doing.
But also, you can say has X amount of streams across all songs written.
Yeah.
Like you probably have millions.
Yeah.
So like that's even though you're a solo artist with like and you're getting your start, you can put things into your EPK in clever ways.
Yeah.
That's my point of view. Anyways, I believe
that's
that.
a good idea, man. No, that's very true. But you know, like I was saying, like I do want to. I want to accomplish the same things that like every musician does in like their daydreams or whatever, but I guess it just sort of irks me how many people see what we do as like you're either some loser in your garage or you're Elvis. You know what I mean? Or like or you know, insert blank, you're Kanye West, you're Jay-Z, or you're
There isn't a lot of middle ground.
Yeah, and well, there is such a huge middle ground.
But not with their perspective.
People don't know.
Yeah.
And so people just see like, oh, you're either like a failure or like you're the most famous dude in the world. And there's so many people that they haven't heard a new song in the last 10 years. And then they're like, well, I haven't heard of you. I was like, you haven't heard of anybody. The last musician you heard of like died like 20 years ago, dude. Like you're not an accurate judgment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You haven't heard of anybody. That's funny.
So I don't know. I just see a lot of that. And I especially with the TikTok and all the overstimulation and just the trends and everything. It's like, there's this cynical side of me that's just like, you should all give up. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you sell your guitars and go get real jobs, you know? But that's not really fair because everybody's got their own like little creative thing that they need an outlet for, you know?
Absolutely.
But it has been a huge, like, especially in Nashville, bro, like the cover bands and the tribute bands and like the original bands they're either Led Zeppelin or they're Blink-182 or they're Motley Crue or they're Carrie Underwood singing about her ex-boyfriend or you know what I mean? And it's just like, bro, we have that at home and and there's so much of it here and they're all the nicest people and the best friends and they're the coolest people to hang out with and I love them dearly, but it's just like, bro, make art. Like, create something and express yourself and stop trying to make daddy proud by reliving his favorite album from the 70s. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, have influences. I like I said, dude, I kind of wish I was a little bit more of a Rage Against the Machine poser, but, like, you only hear it in a few of my songs, and then it's gone.
Well, the other thing is, like, and I have this too, where people will say, "Oh, you sound like this. You sound like this." Especially, there's one song in particular on YouTube right now where I keep getting comments like, "You sound like the Toadies. You sound like the Pixies."
Yeah,
and it does. But like, it's just funny that like that's what people think of, and I don't blame them. But at the same time, it's like no matter who you are, you can't help but your influences can't help but come out of you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just, you know, I just think that there is a creative spin that a seasoned veteran artist who has really been touching the buttons and playing the instruments and like knows their voice, knows how to take their favorite influences and spin it into them. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people that they haven't necessarily done it long enough and it just sounds like they're playing covers. You know what I mean? And it's like, keep going. You know, I don't want to hate and I don't want to be the dude who's like, give up your dreams. But there is a thing where it's like after I scroll through 10,000 bands and I can't even find the good ones because there's 10,000 of these kids playing dress up trying to emulate something that's already existed for the last 30 years. It's like, all right, dude, like,
Yeah.
go work in construction. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we need more nurses, you know? So, but no, I mean, music is such an intellectual thing that it's very natural to hear a song and be like, what's this remind me of? Because there's only a certain amount of notes and there's only a certain amount of tempos and rhythms. So it's like you're going to recognize a chord progression. You're going to recognize a melody. You're going to recognize like a style. And the deeper you're in music, you're going to start recognizing tones and pedals and cymbals, dude. Like if you're like super nerd, you know.
You're going to start noticing compression.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
a weird one
and
for
it's
people
like,
to notice what that sounds like.
The comparison game just like goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And I think it's normal. I think what I'm thankful for is every show that I play, I get a different one of those.
Yeah.
I don't get. It's very rare, dude. It's very rare that I get the same influence comparison, and I also get a lot of different favorite songs. There's no song that I have that is everyone's agreed upon. Like that's your best song. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So I think that's been a cool thing as well.
I think you're in a great place, man. You're
Dude,
in a great place,
man.
What's
make more money.
Man, we've covered so much tonight. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any parting words? Anything you want to just make sure that you promote too, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can just Google Brother Dusty, brotherdusty.com. Built my own website.
Nice.
Proud of it. You know, everything's on there. YouTube's probably my favorite go-to because there's visuals and they pay the artists a little bit more. But, you know, I got Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Pandora, whatever. I use like a full streaming service. And then, you know, working on TikTok, working on YouTube Shorts and stuff like that. But ultimately, dude, I mean, just I like Instagram. It's kind of my home base.
Yeah. I think that must be our generation too, Instagram.
Yeah, makes sense. And then I have 2 songs out right now, and then I have an old album that before I went solo, I had a solo project, but it was just me goofing off for fun. And while we're in a podcast, it's pretty interesting.
Was it called Brother Dusty?
It was under Brother Dusty, and it was called Stick It to the Man, and it was I think 8 to 10 songs that were low budget, like complete side hustle. Like when I wasn't busy with anything else, like what I did was all the bands that I played in, I would bring in band members from the different bands that I played in and hire them to play guitar on solo music that I didn't think was good enough for my own band. Took me 10 years of just like half-assing to finish it. But the main producer on it was a guy named Paul Hamill, and I lived with Paul, and he was my landlord and my roommate, and we finished the album, and as soon as it got done, dude, he passed away, and it was the last thing he ever did with his life.
No. Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, wow. Plot twist.
No, that's so sad.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. Super nice guy. But that was the last thing he really ever did with his life. It's kind of unfortunate because had I known that my band was going to implode in my face, I would have really dove into that album and I would have promoted it way harder.
Yeah.
I've literally promoted it, dude, and I moved on with my life. I think I announced it for a week and then I never talked about it again.
Yeah.
And then, dude, he passed away shortly after that. The only thing that he ever did after that was a song that I'll probably be releasing later this year called Hurricane.
Oh, great. Okay.
But that was literally the last song he ever recorded. So
wow,
that'll be cool.
A distinct honor then.
Yeah. I shouted him out in the music video. But yeah, man, I have 1 old album and 2 new songs.
Man, everyone go check that out who's listening. And I'm gonna go check that out. Stick It to the Man.
Yeah.
That's all. I love the name
it's
too.
It's a very experimental, lo-fi, low budget type of situation, but got some decent stuff on there. So
hey, but sometimes that makes the best, the best vibes and the best music. You know? So yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Well, cool, man. Yeah, thanks for having me. I like this little prop right here, dude.
Thank you. So everyone asks about the soccer ball.
Yeah.
I've never talked about it on the pod, but the soccer ball is my fiance's, who will be my wife after next week.
Okay, cool.
But she's a soccer player. So
yeah, sweet. It's a nice little armrest and something to do with my hands.
Yeah, man. Well, Brother Dusty, thanks so much for being on the pod, man. It's great to meet you too.
Yeah, you too, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome,
yeah,
dude.
Man.
Well, thanks.